Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, and welcome to episode 36 of Technolotics. Coming to you with another wonderful dose of technology, politics, and the fusion thereof.
But this week, naked with clothes.
Yes, underneath these clothes, we're naked.
I'm particularly naked.
Are you?
Yes, I can see you're only slightly naked under those clothes.
Yes.
Okay.
Anywho, let's move on to our first story, which concentrates on smart pills to make you smarter, faster, stronger. We can make him better. So, there have been dramatic increases in the number of these pills being used by students in the US to aid concentration, focus, wakefulness, and short-term memory. Two of these drugs in particular, one is called Adderall, and it's used to treat attention deficit disorder, and its sales have increased over 3,000% in the last 4 years. So obviously, you can't really explain all of that being put it down to tons and tons of people turning up with this disorder. So obviously someone else are either turning up to claim this prescription and saying, oh yeah, I have it, but they don't really, and they're going off and selling it. Or somehow these drugs are being sold. We also have the Provigal. Okay, I'm going to call it Provigal, and it's used to treat narcoleptics. Those who find that they fall asleep uncontrollably. Sales of this have increased over 300%. So for those who are abusing it, obviously they see it as a way to stay awake when they've got a big term paper or exams coming up, so they can stay up and keep studying it long into the night. So these brain steroids are cheaply available all across.
Brain steroids.
Brain steroids.
Swollen with brain muscle.
Yeah, exactly. They're pulsing, their head's pulsing. You can tell those are on it because their heads are going.
Yeah, they can lift those brain weights much harder and heavier.
Exactly. And they can make your head explode from across the room, scanner style. Possible. Anyway. So the thing is that these are cheaply available in colleges all across the US. Those who actually have legitimate prescriptions are taking their drugs and either giving them away or selling them to their classmates. So obviously you think, oh yeah, he's talking crap. But there are actually studies which actually back this up. One study published in an international biomedical and psychosocial journal noted that 7 million Americans
drugs for you.
are using bootleg prescriptions. This was based on 2002 data, and 1.6 million of these people were in the student age group. And in May, the Partnership for Drug-Free America issued its annual attitude tracking study on drug use. It concluded that 2.5 million kids in middle school and high school age are using illegally stimulants. So that's 1 in 10 kids within this age group in the entire US are misusing stimulants, obviously to try and get higher SAT scores or just do better in class, stay up, do the study, do the work. So obviously this is pretty crazy stuff. So, and it's only the beginning because lots of companies are actually rushing out drugs which are meant to treat people with, say, Alzheimer's or attention deficit disorder, but they're going to be used by people to actually boost their brain power to become super brain people. I mean, I knew brain masters popping pills. So, obviously, bad things are that, like, it's getting tests and SAT scores, and big businesses are looking for more and more from the people who are actually stuck in these. So students have to work harder, people in business have to work harder to get a competitive edge. So you can see why people would turn to these things to actually try and, you know, do a little bit better. But all of these have side effects. One in particular, Stratera, which is an attention deficit disorder drug, can result in liver failure, and the bad thing is that this drug can be taken for quite some time before the effects show up. So literally you could be like killing yourself slowly by taking some of these drugs, and people don't really know what the long-term effects are of these drugs on normal people who don't have any like diseases, what these drugs were initially designed to treat. So
many interesting ethical questions with this.
It's
like, suppose you have a drug that doesn't have side effects, which many of the new Alzheimer's drugs are supposedly don't have any side effects. They just lead to particular kind of brain growth in hippocampus and a few other brain regions which are affected by memory or function in the use of memory. Like, if you can take that drug and make your memory better, is that wrong? Is that ethically wrong?
Is that wrong? But also,
should it be compulsory or allowed at least?
Well, you already have like the problem that, you know, some people believe that, you know, the educational system is biased towards those who like have the money to get into it. So I mean, then there'll be an extra layer for those who like can get into the big schools, the best schools, and then there'll be like those who can get access to the best drugs.
But it's really not that much different from those who went to the best prep schools, the best play schools, or had tutors for violin or piano who went to their house from age 6, as compared to your inner city kid who was beaten by his dad and, you know, nipped around the ear and thrown into the coal shed when he didn't drink fast enough or whatever. You know, so it's just another layer of privilege that's differentiated by money, but it's nothing new in that respect. But like, God, what we're going to have to ask ourselves as nootropics become more commonplace, things that increase intelligence, drugs like modafinil and the other ones I can't pronounce, where are we going to draw the line as a society? Where do we choose to restrict people?
And, well, another problem with these is they actually have very narrow they encourage a very narrow definition of intelligence, because they essentially just put it down to your ability to remember stuff or concentrate for long periods of time. So it's like, wow, he can stare at a page and learn it, and, you know, that's it, and he can regurgitate a whole pile of information on, you know, in a 3-hour exam. So wow, yeah, he's super smart. But like, that doesn't take into account someone who's like really talented with their hands, who's really creative, someone who's, say, very high emotional intelligence, who can like sense, you know, how others are feeling and how they can very good with dealing with people.
Well, you know,
some people are just like are tactless. You know, they're just crap. You know, they've no sense of how others feel, or how to deal with them. Like, you know, if someone's feeling bad, they just don't pick up on it.
Slap them or spit them.
Just slap them. You know, while others are very...
They think that's friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You suck.
But
Bye.
This is an interesting example of how the real problem is what the society is valuing.
Yeah.
I mean, if as technology advances, and even if it didn't, people will always come up with things which add an advantage to those things that are desirable. If society was looking for, you know, increased fitness, then there'd be like secret all-night gyms or whatever that people could go to.
There are those.
Really?
Yeah, they're hidden underground.
Pexy McSexy does all-nighters. I've seen him in the gym on a 24-hour bender. For those of you who do not watch the one show in which Pexy McSexy starred, go back and look through our past shows and you'll see his sheer pexiness.
Yeah, he's flexing.
He's deeply flexing constantly under his muscle shirt.
It's rippling muscle shirt.
Rippling, frightening. Some viewers, in fact, passed away during the viewing of that show due to the sheer pexiness.
Yeah, heart failure. Just got too much. Exploded.
Okay. Moving on.
Anyway, okay. Our next story considers the last radio, which is a new programmable radio. So, most devices that access the wireless, the electromagnetic spectrum, say anything from like a car radio to walkie-talkie to, say, your wireless LAN card, they all are very specific purpose wireless devices. So usually they can only access like a small portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, and they usually only like send out on that small portion. So they're very like single purpose devices. However, Eric Blossom and Matt Ettis have teamed up, and they've come up with a device which is far more multi-purpose, which essentially you can almost access any part of the electromagnetic spectrum and transmit or receive over that, and do far more than that. You can actually grab a whole section of the data that's being transferred over a certain portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. So, say GSM signals are sent on a particular frequency, so you can set up this device to actually grab every single GSM signal that's being sent out, over time. So you can see, say, if you drop it in an area, you can see how many people with mobile phones are nearby, or you can graph that over time. The system's been used in a shopping mall for that purpose, so they can roughly tell how many people are in the mall and where they are at any particular time.
Another interesting use was there in the article they mentioned they were recording FM, and the guy interviewing him was like, "What, all of it?" He's like, "Yeah, all of FM, right there,
everything, the whole band, yeah." So it's pretty cool, and like the thing is that it allows you to. It's great for like amateurs and people and researchers, because it allows them to essentially work on something which is able to broadcast and receive over a wide range of frequencies, and they can play around with it and develop completely new systems and come up with ideas that no one else has thought of. Like, I mean, grabbing the whole FM spectrum at once is pretty cool, because you can just go, why not? Say it's like 6 o'clock and you want to hear the news, but rather than listening to one radio station, you listen to a whole bunch of them. You can see like how they each differently present the news at 6 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
or shows are on at the same time, because radio is you can't just go back to a show that's been on earlier, so you can maybe grab 2 shows that are on at once. Or they're just simple ideas, but something along those lines people might come up with, and it's pretty great. So currently, actually, Blossom's come up with a pretty cool one. It's he's working on a passive radar system.
Is his name Blossom?
Yeah, Blossom. His second name is Blossom. I know.
I wonder if it's the same Blossom that was in the TV show.
I don't know, but he
went from teen girl icon to man radio maker.
Well, it probably did, from all the beatings he had to go inside.
You were that Blossom, no!
He had to do something. All his friends were via radio. He did ham radio. It's like, so they wouldn't know where he lived or what he looked like.
Or what his gender was. You heard it here first.
Yeah, anyway, the other guy with a strange name called Ettis, he's selling the kits from his website starting at $550. So if you're a researcher or someone who wants to play around with this, get to his website, which we've linked to in the wiki, and you can go and get yourself a kit and start playing with it.
Another great thing with this is, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it can capture digital television as well.
Yeah.
So you can catch HD TV.
The project started out as a HD TV receiver, but they haven't quite got there yet.
But soon,
for the rest of your life.
Before that evil broadcast flag is pumped out there. But I guess if they sell a little daughter board or whatever, and they sell the card separately, they'll be able to get around the broadcast flag thing.
Certainly, yeah. If it's a separate daughter card, worst case, then they'll just have to stop selling the daughter card. They'll still be able to use the rest of the system. So, and I don't think it's actually that bad, because all they were doing was receiving on that particular part of the spectrum. So I mean, essentially, you're just receiving a signal. You're not doing anything with it.
This is the interesting thing, as home technology and fabs that you can print out in 3 dimensions, your own chips at home, and kind of small companies like this, the technology gets more and more easy to produce. Like these people are actually building their own cards and stuff, which are having an original and quite sophisticated use. Then laws like the NSA laws that restrict hardware and what it can do become more and more absurd, because you or I at home can just put a lot of chips together and do something that's illegal, which is insane.
As chips become reprogrammable, then it becomes almost a harder question, because then you'll have chips which someone at home can just rip out of whatever component they want, drop it in somewhere, reprogram it to do something that the RIA don't want them to do.
Yeah, but this card is probably a fairly large box right now. 2 years' time it'll be a chip.
Yeah.
The whole thing will be a chip, a completely reprogrammable chip. All you have to do is plug in the right aerial. What do you do at that point? Is the code then illegal?
Yeah, or is it like ban reprogrammable chips because someone might reprogram it to do something evil?
Patent absurdity.
Yeah.
Witty little pun there.
You know?
Okay, our next story concerns Netvibes. Some of you might have used Netvibes virtual desktops, which kind of reside on the web. Netvibes is a cross between an RSS aggregator and a desktop utility, so you can get all your RSS feeds in different tabs within a tab. So say you go to a page in Firefox or Internet Explorer, netvibes.com, and then you can read all the news that comes in from various sites that you subscribe to, or you can look at your delicious feed, various other things. Netvibes have released a new add-on to this system called Netvibes Ecosystems, and this allows users not only to publish their own feeds within the Netvibes ecosystem, but also to produce widgets which plug into Netvibes architecture and are written using Netvibes API. So simple ones would be things like Flickr photo sets, or access to POP3, email, or various things like this. So you can check your email, you can look at your Flickr photos, but more and more sophisticated ones are being developed. So, and they can also kind of share information using the Netvibes backend. So you can have simple games that kind of share high scores, or possibly even multiplayer games in the future. So this could develop into a really nice interface, and it's already pretty sweet. So it's actually turning into a fairly good alternative to dedicated RSS readers. I played around with mine today and got so many feeds going in the various tabs within the Netvibes system that you can just read a huge amount of information without really trying very hard. It's a really easy and quick way to stay in contact with a lot of different sites.
Yay, especially as the number of sites and things you end up subscribing to and trying to keep track of, grows and grows and grows. It's really hard to kind of not dedicate hours and hours of your day just trawling through the sites looking for something interesting. So this is just a quick, easy way to grab all these feeds and things and keep up with them.
Yeah, people are always going on about the RTF aspect, the semantic web stuff that Dave Weiner has done as being his greatest achievement. But I think RSS is the most important thing he's done, because just for that simple reason that it created a way of literally kind of synthesizing down information in a way that allows us to intake more information from more sources than ever before possible. Right now, if you wanted to, you could catch up with probably 200-300 newspapers within an hour. That's never been possible in the history of humanity before. That is literally a compression of our ability to comprehend information in a way that's almost as much of a leap as going from, talking to the printed page. It's an amazing achievement. It's only going to get more and more exciting to work with.
Yeah, exactly. As you have more and more information to trawl through and get through in a day, your efficiency in carrying out that process, becomes, more critical as time goes on. So, like for us busy students, as we are, we need to be able to go in and, check quickly and then get back to our study.
Yes.
Yes.
But of course, the bad side effect is that when you do read so much information, your actual recall goes down. So I find often people will ask me, what did you do in the show like yesterday? And I'm like, well, I have no idea. I read a few RSS feeds, I made it into notes, and then we filmed it. I couldn't tell you, go watch it.
Maybe you should take some of those brain drugs.
Yeah, I need some modafinil for medics and all reasons. I do have a bad memory though, so probably I could get a prescription if we're ever lucky enough to get that into Ireland. Okay. Next story is Gesturtek. Company have produced an interesting software package which will work with the Xbox camera and the PS3 camera add-on that will probably come out in 2035. But what this will do
with the system, of course.
With the system,
yeah.
2034 you can get the actual
$5 billion, a kidney, and maybe a child.
And it will actually be reduced down to 1 gigahertz and 5K of memory. Yeah. But it's worth waiting for because that's slick Sony casing and those pre-rendered graphics. So Gesturtek have produced this software, and what it does is it's a really, really sophisticated motion analysis and motion capture software. So supposedly, theoretically, according to the report that we have from, I don't have the name of the site, it's good enough that it can effectively compete with the Wiimote. I feel such an idiot saying Wiimote. Which is, of course, the Nintendo Wii wireless controller, which is causing such a stir with its intense interactivity. So, of course, as the Wiimote works by sensing motion using gyroscopes and I think it's IR and radio back to the base station, this camera, by contrast, will work by sensing the motions that you're making in a three-dimensional space in front of the camera. So supposedly if you're playing a game where you fire arrows at a target, you just pull back with your hand, like loose an invisible arrow and it'll fire. Playing a sword game, you can track your hands. If you're playing a piano, supposedly the software is advanced enough to track each individual finger.
Apparently it had, so you could just, obviously a first person shooter, you could just make a little hand and just go bang bang, and it would recognise you cocking your finger.
That would be so fucking cool.
So it would be pretty amazing.
If it works as advertised, and if it's supported by any games, which is a big if, it could actually be better than the Wiimote. Because certainly you can't, with a Wiimote, you can't, you can sort of play drums or whatever, but you can't play eight virtual keyboards.
Think about it though, then the Gesturtek system actually allows full body movement. So it tracks limbs. So soccer game becomes kicking, rather than, the Wiimote would be like, or something. I don't know.
Is this soccer?
I don't know. But exactly for the fight part.
That's what I think of the porn possibilities. Gesturtek, you can, with the Wiimote, you obviously have to strap it onto your Tadger, and and it detects a limited amount of thrust. But with the Gesturtek system, you
just whip it out.
Jenna Jameson's virtual vagina can actually sense your thrusts, and they can measure your extension, and she can react.
Yeah, I don't think it'll pick up on your limb though.
Oh, it's too big for the camera. It's obviously going to obscure the entire. It'll just be like step away from the camera. You are too close. We are getting your cheek or something. Yeah. Okay. Shut up. Right. That was a weak comeback, but it was a weak joke.
I like fun. Anyway.
One other thing that this would be great for, I'm working in some research at the moment in college where we're tracking animals, and the systems that they have, the cutting edge animal tracking systems for, say you're filming an animal in a maze or whatever, they're so retarded. All they literally do is they measure the difference in colour between the background and the animal.
Yeah.
So if your animal is white and it's on a white background, you literally have to get some paint and paint them. I'm not kidding. Something like this could be such an improvement. Yeah. Oh my god, it would revolutionise ethnographic research.
Well, as we were saying before we did the show, great missed opportunity is actually to have a motion gesture sensor system for the home or work or anything like this. Why just limit it to games? Because it could be just simply you set it up in the corner and then it controls your TV, your
Minority
radio.
Report right there.
Exactly, it's Minority Report right there. If it's that good, then you have Minority Report
that's it, it's done.
It's done. Just no more searching for the remote, just
no more VR gloves.
Turn it on.
You have your interface.
Exactly.
If this software really works as well as it's being purported, then it could revolutionise the interface for any kind of video editing. Can you imagine? You're playing a video, you grab it, literally like in Minority Report, slow it down, pull a frame over here, drop it. You just need a regular screen and your Gesturtek software and a camera.
Bish bash bosh. It's
obviously going to have to be a really good camera, but you can get very, very high quality cameras in the PC.
I just find it irritating that it's just limited to games, because if it's that good, or why hasn't it been done before?
Well, the software.
It must be really
insanely sophisticated if it does work.
Dedicated, but still, full gesture recognition. Wow, amazing! Because that's a huge thing for you could walk into a room, you don't have to learn how to use any TV. You just carry out the gestures. No more how do I turn it on? Where's the remote? How do I do something? There's just general gestures for play, stop. That. A play button is so well recognized at this stage. You can put it anywhere almost in the Western world, and someone would recognize a play button. That some gesture, someone will have to come up with a gesture for play, and will that become so well recognized that people will go, play. Let's make the play thing.
Yeah, it can be this. Yeah,
this. Play?
Maybe that'll be kind of more backwards. We'll work on this.
That'll be reversed.
We'll let you know next week.
That'll be play.
What's fast forward then? There's the idiot factor. You don't want to look like an idiot. You know, that's a big problem.
Yeah, hundreds of people in their sitting rooms going, come on!
Can you imagine it great though if you combine this with facial recognition? So you're the only one in the room that can change the TV, and someone else is like, and you're like, bing.
Yeah, because it does that as well. It's also face recognition and tracking.
Converting your facial expressions to your character's expression in a multiplayer. There's so many possibilities for this.
Yeah.
Drool.
Well, and also think about it, like it could be good for like people who are like in wheelchairs or whatever, you know, because maybe things they can't reach or do and carry out gestures instead.
And their robotic arm on their wheelchair can go and do it.
Something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's dangerous giving them too much robotics. What if the wheelchair people decide to become cybernetic attack spiders with, like, you know, powerful spider limbs and a gesture interface, so they can just kind of.
So it's like, oh my God, he's going into Twitch. We're going to die.
Jesus. Okay, there's the line.
Because that's the kill everybody Twitch.
Where's the line? Oh yeah, it's back there. Okay. On to our short stories. Okay, sorry about that little glitch with our technical equipment right there. Oops the daisy. We were attacked by a giant disabled spider, maybe. Okay.
We fought him off.
We did. We defeated him using the power of geek. Okay, where were we?
Anyway, we were just about to move on to Google Spreadsheets.
Ooh.
So, these are spreadsheets for everybody. Everybody!
Even your...
Everybody needs spreadsheets. You know?
I like to spread somebody's sheets. I'm just gonna put away my humour gland in a box and sell it to somebody.
Ignore that. Anyway, obviously this is an online rival to Excel, although it doesn't have all the functionality of it. It doesn't include charts, but it does offer a way for people to collaborate on spreadsheet files, so that maybe they could, you know, work out the actual data, you know, work on the data, and then, you know, they can go off, copy it maybe into something like Excel, and then make up charts. But like, I mean,
you need Excel then, wouldn't you?
You would need Excel, but
I'm sure
there
have
is
chart
freeware
functionality soon.
And there's probably freeware programs out there that do that.
Maybe.
More than likely there is, or at least cheaper alternatives.
We forget everyone's used to getting programs like Excel with their computer, but they actually cost. Microsoft Office is a hugely expensive piece of software.
Oh, incredibly!
It's hundreds of euro. I'm not sure exactly what it is because I've never paid for it, nor would I. But
yeah, it's a couple €100 for it. So, and especially if it's like business, you know, obviously you're going to be paying quite a lot for each license. So it's not going to come cheap. So obviously this is a good alternative for maybe small businesses and corporations which are just starting out, which can't afford to get Excel, or even for students who can't afford it either, so that they can maybe occasionally need to create a spreadsheet for something, and now they can without having to pay Microsoft millions of dollars.
And you can collaboratively edit spreadsheets without the hugely expensive Microsoft SharePoint software, which I think that's what it's called. Which you can do some, you know, really nice collaborative stuff with that, but it's very, very dear, and you need a server to run it. Blah blah blah. This is just like collaborate like that.
Yeah, bish bash bosh. So
yeah, man.
Nice. So
nice.
Obviously we see that this is a further addition to Google's portfolio of programs. So you can definitely see that you know, they've got a lot of rivals to Microsoft's offerings, traditional offerings. So see in time, you know, that if you have like your one portal for, like, you know, Google, that you go in, you've got your mail, you've got your spreadsheets, you've got your word processing, you know, essentially it becomes like your online office, which you can access anywhere. Most of it is collaborative, and Microsoft may have something to worry about in future, you know, and it's also free.
Yeah,
free,
I mean,
free.
Sure, this isn't going to convert many businesses, but there's plenty of home users who would gladly accept a PC without Office, and perhaps without even Windows, if there's a little icon on the desktop that you can double click to get to Writely, Google Spreadsheets, Google Base, various other things that
things like, if you start out, you get the people young who are using this, then like it could slowly spread in as those
really young.
Oh, Okay.
Go on.
Sorry, temporarily weirded out. Anyway.
You're not young, are you?
No.
Okay, Google Browser Sync. This is, of course, a great new Firefox add-in that Google created. So if you're using Firefox on multiple machines, say your work machine, your home machine, whatever else, you can import all your bookmarks and your passwords if you trust Google with them. But it's great if you don't mind trusting Google, as you're already doing if you have Google Mail, then you can use this to literally import all your contact information, and not contact information, but sorry, all your information that you need to use your browser, all your customized stuff. And it's really handy, so you can bookmark something at work, bookmark it at home, great. Who doesn't use Delicious these days, but still.
Yeah, who doesn't? Or is smart enough to save all their passwords and stuff on a machine and don't keep them in their brain head instead.
I keep them in my foot brain, that's that wrong?
Well, you could lose it in an accident.
Oh no!
And then you would not be able to check your mail. I mean, it would be a double blow.
That's what I'd be worried about.
No foot and no email for life.
Obviously my major concern would be I couldn't wear my shoes.
Oh,
come on. Or I'd have to wear one of those horrible fake shoes. Like a giant black cube. Crunk.
Is that not a fake foot shoe?
What a great idea! Fake foot, but a real shoe.
Yes.
It's $1 million idea right there.
Hooray, we're rich. Let's blow this.
Let's sell this idea to Google. Google fake foot. Now with free spreadsheets. Okay,
yes. Okay, our next story is about the NSA lawsuit, which will go ahead. A judge has ruled that the lawsuit against the NSA over its illegal wiretapping will go ahead. The lawsuit was filed by the ACLU in Detroit and the Center for Constitutional Rights in New York in January. And the claim was that the wiretapping violated Americans' rights to free speech and privacy. Now, the plaintiffs asked the judge to declare the wiretaps illegal, and you can see why they would do this, because the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act requires the CIA or any organisation like that in the US government to go to a secret court to authorise any spying within the United States. However, the NSA forgot or just couldn't be bothered doing this, and so obviously it opens up their wiretaps to a legal challenge because they didn't get any authorization to do this. So the government filed a motion saying that no court order can consider the issues regarding this case because it could threaten national security, which, depending on your point of view, is either a valid excuse or else it's just a way for them to go, yeah, we can do whatever we want and we'll just put it down to threat to national security. So the judge says she will hear the government's motion only after proceeding with the hearing on the plaintiff's motion to declare the wiretaps illegal. So, as we speak, they could be looking at the NSA going, "Oh, you're illegal, you're bad." Now, what would they be punished? I'm not really sure, or how they would be punished,
well,
but at least the wiretaps would be stopped.
Yeah, they're still ongoing. These wiretaps are going on right now. If you're in the United States and you're making phone calls, they are being tapped.
If you hear clicks,
all of them.
Stop talking about the attack.
Yeah, don't tell the plan on the phone. Use a pigeon.
Yes.
New Google Pigeon for your secret terrorist plan.
Yes. Terror pigeons.
Terror pigeons. When they've delivered their message, they attack!
Yes, which carries cyanide pellets on them.
That's a great idea right there.
There you go.
Tell that to Google. Google foot and Google terror pigeon. Soon Google will own every business in the world with a combination of wooden foot and terror pigeon attacks.
Terror pigeons.
So they can have the wooden foot program so people walk around perfectly innocently and then one day, oh, it just starts kicking.
Yeah, exactly. Evil foot and terror pigeons. So the doors will be kicked down and the terror pigeons can come in. Fly in.
Okay, our final story.
Yeah, they go. Google.
Maybe they have a terror fish that can go. Our final story is about the Hitch, a new device which can connect an iPod to an iPod and swap music, something which iPods obviously should do automatically, but you can't. And presumably, although they don't really make it clear from their website, you can connect an iPod to another MP3 player. You can definitely connect a USB key to another USB key. So any two USB devices, you can trade things. And they've obviously got special software to allow you to trade the database music on iPods or other MP3 players, which is really, really swanky.
That's really cool.
Who wouldn't want that when they're pirating music, which, by the way, is not a real term. It's copyright
really cool though if it was like a plug-in dongle which was wireless, and then you could just connect to anyone who's walking nearby and start swapping music. You just create like a want list nearby. You just pull it. And that'd be amazing. You get home and you go, "What the album? I wanted it."
Bing! It's like your micro kind of bing. You have new music. And but you know, there are a whole new generation of wireless MP3 players coming out, but they've got DRM built into the gullet. Their DRM, what happens is you can like listen to streams of music which are like 30 seconds or whatever from nearby people, and if you like the song you can press the button, and the next time it's near your computer it will connect to the net and buy the song on your account, some wank like that.
With some lovely DRM as a side.
Yeah, every time you listen to it, the more you enjoy it, the more it costs. They have a special sensor in the hands. If your ears are wiggling, it goes up in price. Yeah.
Yes, he will listen to this lots.
You like this song too much, now we'll play it reduced quality.
No, babe, give us more money.
Every time you sing the song to yourself, special microphones detect that you're violating copyright.
If you're humming, it's like you're humming, it sounds too much like
this
our
is a
song.
Copyright infringement. It is trading up music with everyone.
You're using the note D sharp. We've copyrighted it.
Well, you know, we joke, but if we were to start singing "What If God Was One of Us" right now, we sung more than a few seconds of it. That's a copyright infringement right there.
Yeah.
In fact, if we were to start singing "Happy Birthday to You," which is copyright of the Warner Corporation, that is copyright infringement. We couldn't put this video online for free.
A lot of people who break that every day in the world. Wow. Warner Company, get out there, you're owed millions.
This is why I think they should have copyright police with giant whips and attack planes.
Yeah. Exactly. A giant microphone sensor thing like wow, jump
Maybe just one big microphone in the sky.
Yeah. Hanging over the world. Like, whoa.
Like when Superman flies into space and listens and you can hear all the sounds in the world.
Testing 1, 2.
Okay, on to our media pimps. Bish bash bash.
You go first.
I'll fly through these. Okay, Man vs. Flash is a cartoon which depicts a fight between someone using Flash and a character that they've drawn in Flash. Observer Chris Morris Special is a series of articles that the Observer magazine wrote in 2004 on Christopher Morris, the greatest comedian of all time. Amen Break video is a video that you can watch about the Amen Break, which is a drum loop which kicked off drum and bass and hip-hop as genres used in many, many influential songs. Establishment is a Peter Cook fan site with lots of cool videos. Amazing RC Piloting is a video I found which is of a guy piloting an RC plane with amazing skill. It has to be seen to be believed. And Powers of 10 is a geeky video from the 70s which depicts the difference between things which are very small and very big.
I found it boring.
Yes, you did. You didn't like to be reminded of what things are like when they're very, very small indeed. Maybe a power of 10 below normal. Cover it. That's your.
Right. Mine is first one is TagFetch, which allows you to search for content based on tag in Flickr, YouTube, Delicious, Technolotics, Feedster, or Newsvine. Ooh. Also includes Reddit and Trail Tag. So, handy. So, another one is how to make your own LCD projector. So, if you've an LCD screen just lying around and you want to make a projector out of it, you can using simple instructions. We have Google Map Maker, which allows you to take Google Map and then add in your own tags and things to it, so you can drop in your friend's house or your local pedo's house, so everyone can find the local pedophiles. Hooray! So they burn their house down.
Oh, I thought it was so they could like meet up and trade numbers and secrets and tips and stuff. Kids prefer Smarties to Maltesers.
No, so the cops know where to go. It's like, there's a paedophile on the loose. Oh look, that's where he lives. Ding, 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 ding.
Legions of cops checking these Google Maps mashups.
Yes. And finally, a non-techie related one, Prison Break is starting on RTV2 this Tuesday night. It's very good. Have a look at it. Cheesy.
It is cheesier than a mozzarella sandwich covered in cheese.
Mozzarella.
Cheese, that is. Is that not a cheese?
Mozzarella.
I don't know, not a cheese.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
as always, you can read about all the stories we discussed this week on our wiki, which is linked straight off technolotics.com. Click the read button. You can see all our links on the sidebar of our site, and you can subscribe to them from our feed digest feed. And you can listen to this show and I guess watch it. It's probably ours. And you just repeat our names like a mantra if it thrills you.
It's a bit late to be telling them this at the end of the show.
Yeah,
you can watch this show or listen to it. They go, oh no, I could listen to it.
What if they're wandering by an open window while someone watches the show and they happen to hear Technolotics.com?
This week's theme tune was Can I Be a Star by Burnsheath Hornside, which is available for download from magnitude.com.
That was track number 1 from the album The Art of Not Blending In by Bernshee Thornside from Magnatune.com.